Good morning, I'm Charmaine Ironside with Ironside Fitness. I'm here in beautiful Jamaica. It's a gorgeous morning, just like every morning has been in this incredible place. And today I want to talk about something that's really been a huge part of my life, and that's goal setting. So ever since I was a little girl, I liked to set goals, and that just kept going and getting more and more concrete as I got older. When I was 18 years old, I set my dreams on becoming a national team snowboarder. And just so you know, at this point, at 18 years old, I probably had snowboarded 20 times in my life. I was not a great snowboarder, but I had been picking it up quite quickly. I went and watched my brother in a competition and decided, hey, I can do this too. So at 18, I did my first competition. I came 17th out of 30. This was in a small competition in my province in Canada. And I decided this is it, I'm doing it. So in grade 12, I took every spare moment I had to go to the ski hill on my breaks. I worked hard in the gym, I set goals, excuse me. And within 2 years, I was on the Canadian development team for snowboarding. Further from that, I decided 2010 Olympics was going to go to those Olympics. So I spent all my energy and focused on those goals. I wrote them down. I wrote them on big posters on my wall. Every morning when I went to the ski hill, I'd have my goal for the day, whether it was learning a different type of grab on the snowboard, or a 360 or 540 or 720. I always wrote down what I was working on, small steps, how to get there, goals for the month, goals for the season, goals for the 4 years till the Olympics. So I progressed quite quickly through the ranks in the snowboarding world. In 2009, I was ranked second in Canada for snowboarding and was right on track to go to the Olympics. So I definitely attribute all of those goal setting, all that goal setting to why I was so successful, because I knew where I wanted to go. I thought about it every morning. I visualized it every day, and I looked at those goals on the wall, and they kept me pushing forward, no matter how crummy my day was. So goal setting is huge for me. And now in life, my focus has shifted. Some of you know I broke my back in 2009. I didn't get to be a competitor at the Olympics. I got to be an alternate, but I spent the 6 months leading up to the Olympics learning how to walk and poo and do all those activities again instead of being on snow getting ready for the games. So after that, I decided I was retired. I was done with snowboarding in 2010. So I put my focus into something new. And I decided that I was going to be the best personal trainer out there. So I worked hard at that. I took courses. I set goals in personal training. And then eventually I decided that I could be a lot more than working just in a gym as a trainer. And I worked hard. I built up my client base. I started doing small group training. And eventually I was able last January to open my own studio with a lot of help. My husband quit his engineering career to help me because he saw the potential in the business. I've got some great trainers that work with me who really helped me get to where I wanted to go. And in June this year, we opened our second location, so that's going really well. So I've always written down goals, whether they're personal, business, financial. Goal setting's huge for me. I like to do 6 months. I like to do a year. I like to write them all up on the board at the start of every month. I just have a big piece of neon paper from the dollar store and I write down my goals for that month. And then once I achieve them, I cross them out. At the end of the month, I reevaluate what could I have done better, and I set goals again. And that's part of living for me. If I don't have a goal I'm working towards, life can get pretty boring. So part of goal setting, I think, is setting priorities as well. So a lot of us, our priorities aren't necessarily in line with what we say we want in life. So when I say my goal is to eventually have a cabin in Canmore, to have a family of 4 kids, and I have a dog, those kind of things. When I say those are my goals, but then I work 16-hour days and I don't take care of my body, that doesn't align with having a family with 4 kids. That doesn't align with the happiness that it takes to have a healthy family like that. I mean, maybe working 16-hour days will help me get that cabin in the mountains sooner, but it's not going to align with the rest of my goals. So make sure that your priorities, what you're putting on your to-do list each day, help you get to those important goals that you have set. Because a lot of us, I think we get sort of confused what our priorities are. And there's a lot of things on our to-do list that could probably go by the wayside if you really take a good look at your to-do list. Yes, it's great to be efficient and to check all those things off, but maybe the things you're checking off aren't necessarily leading towards your big goals. So yeah, I encourage you today to take out a sheet of paper, write down a timeline, write 1 month, write 3 months, write a year, and write down what your goals are. And even more important than what the goal is, what are your small action steps going to be to get there? because if we're working on small action steps each day, we're totally going to get to our goals. And I'm a really big fan of Tim Ferriss. Some of you might have heard of the 4-Hour Work Week. It's a pretty incredible book, and it's really changed the way I look at work and the way I look at my career and just life in general. And a couple quotes that I love from this book. Retirement as a goal in life is flawed for so many reasons. Number one, it assumes that you dislike what you're doing during the most capable years of your life, and nothing can justify that sacrifice. So that really hits home for me, because I know a lot of people have saved everything for retirement and then gotten sick right away, passed away. I lost my mom at age 62 a couple years ago, and she was saving a lot of exciting things for later in life, and that just tells me I gotta live for the moment. Another couple quotes that I really liked: tomorrow becomes never. Take the first step now. So that just to me says, when you're working on towards your goals, it doesn't matter how small that little step is. Just make one step every day and you'll get to your goal. It really is true. Consistency is totally key when it comes to goals. If you work a small amount each day, you're definitely going to get there. And being overwhelmed is almost as unproductive as doing nothing, and it is far more unpleasant. So that just means to me, when we're overwhelmed with that to-do list, we need to go through it and cut out things that are not priorities. If we don't feel like we have enough time, it's probably because we haven't set out what our priorities are. So I hope that's a little bit inspiring, setting some goals for the day and remembering that living for the moment is so important, because we never know what's around the corner. So enjoy your day, and we'll see you soon.